are we all? I hope you're all doing really well on this Friday night. So, yeah, we're chilling out tonight and having that Friday feeling. I've got a wonderful guest for you. If you haven't noticed in this ticker going along the bottom here, if you haven't checked out this amazing, brilliant guitar player and top bloke, check out John Robson's channel. And there is a link there, which I will also put in the comment section if it's still in my paste. Yes, there it is. There you go. And yeah, we could say, hello, chaps. So I think without further ado, we'll do that and we'll add the man himself and say, hello chaps. John, it's absolutely lovely to have you on, mate. I've been following your beer o'clock. Now, I have to say that I first got introduced to you and your channel through Dan at Scott's Guitars. And it wasn't Dan that introduced me. It was about 200 subscribers said to me, hey, you aren't the first to check out that guitar. Have you ever seen John Robson guitar? And it was like, do you know what? I have. I've seen a few of his videos, but I hadn't seen that you checked it out. So, of course, I went onto your channel, and I think if that didn't hook me, certainly beer o'clock on a Friday definitely did.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. So it is absolutely lovely to have you on the show tonight, mate.
Likewise, Mike. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's absolutely super. So yeah, down below here, there's the link, and I've also put the link in the chat. There we go, up there. So you guys can get on and check out John's channel. Also, today just happens to be National Sugar Cookie Day. It's Nunavut Day in Canada. I hope I'm saying that right. Independence Day in Argentina and South Sudan. And Constitution Day in Palau. So if you're from any of those places...
Well, my missus is from Canada, but there you go.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's a special celebration. I don't know what that celebration is, but we also had in earlier the beautiful Amanda Coombs. And, of course, she is most certainly from Canada. There she is in the chat saying, none of that. I'm going to say it's none of that day. None of that day. We won't have any of that today. So, yeah. John, you need a flake in that, apparently.
Yes, here we go. This happens every time I pour a beer. Somebody.
I know. Oh, look, there we go. Poo Ninja's in, and he's saying 2 great channels in one live stream. Thanks so much, Poo Ninja. Bless you, brother. There we go. Johnny has been subbed to you on his other channel and subbed on this one a while ago. There we go. Great content, which is lovely. Oh, there we go. This is how we pronounce it. Nunavut or Nunavut, something like that. Thank you so much, Poo Ninja. Do throw some thumbs up. Anton is in, one of your regulars. He says,
yes.
John's beer o'clock.
Hi, Anton.
John's lessons are awesome too. They are indeed. And again, the link is down there, and I will continue to pop it in the chat as we go. So, John,
yes.
Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live stream. And as I say, it's really, really lovely to have you here. You do so much on your channel in terms of teaching, in terms of reviewing stuff. And in fact, a lot of people don't know, but I did invite you to the British Boutique Guitar Festival, but it's not really your focus. But you were definitely invited, weren't you?
I was indeed. And I mean, the main reason why I was unable to attend, and I don't wish to, kind of go for the sympathy vote here, but my missus, as I said, she's Canadian, and over there, ice hockey, or hockey as they call it over there, is like five-a-side. Everybody plays it. And
Right.
she did loads of that in her youth, and consequently her knees are absolutely knackered.
And she's just had an operation, hasn't she?
She's just had she's just had a leg boned and filleted, as I say. And she's got a new knee, and it's taken a while to bed in. So she can't walk the dog, and she can't go to the shops and stuff like that. So I have to sort of stay close to home base at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally understood that, and you put that in your response to me as well. But maybe next time we'll keep our fingers firmly crossed, because it would be lovely to meet you in person. It's great to meet you on the channel. And there we go. Talking about meeting you in person, John is a thoroughly nice chap. I think he means when you meet him in person.
Oh, that's a vicious rumor.
Oh, there we go. Amanda doesn't play, apparently. She did figure skating. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Canadians are just born on skates, aren't they?
I think they have to be, don't they? With the weather out there and all the frozen ice, you'd want to be, wouldn't you? Lots of beers flying about tonight. Cheers. There are. House husband John, he's a good lad. That's nice to know. How about that?
Yes. He's a good pal of mine, Steve Hoggett. I've known him many a year.
And Sean says, speaking of hockey, that's actually my real name.
Good lad.
Which is awesome. Stick fighting or hockey, same difference. Well, talking of fighting, on your live show,
oh yeah,
you got asked.
Front of that, are we?
Yeah, a boxing match. Now I'm not up for that, because I think you are. Are you 6'4"? I'm
5'19".
Get out. Love it. 5'19". Yeah, exactly. I'm only 6'2", and I've just been telling you I've lost a lot of weight, so I'm not going to the ring with you. You'd wipe the floor with me. But what YouTuber would you like to punch, John?
You.
I bet you would now. Absolutely. Yeah, they were all baiting you, weren't they? Everybody was baiting you and sort of saying, who would you get in the ring with? You know, how many rounds as well? I don't know, mate. The things that we put up with on live streams, it's absolutely crazy.
Oh, there's worse ways to make a living, mate. There's worse ways to make a living.
Tell me about it. I love the live shows are my favorite thing, because you get to see everybody talking and you can respond. And for that, if anybody has any questions for John tonight, please pop them in the chat. Likewise, I'm quite happy to answer any that you want to ask both of us, which is cool. Johnny Lowe, it's his first time here. He says, first time at CGS, got the message from John's live stream. Enjoying so far. Cheers. Well, cheers to you as well. Thank you very much, Johnny.
I've just got to say, if I'm going to try and keep up with you, you're on the alcohol-free stuff. I'm not. This could get messy.
I was counting on it. Oh, dear. Mike, I'm going on holiday in 3 weeks. Any tips on losing weight that don't involve dieting, excessive or major surgery? Asking for a mate. Well, I can tell you, mate. I can tell you, Anton, that definitely I can thoroughly recommend cutting out sugar. That's it. If you can cut out sugar and look at your complex carbs, that's the only way I've done it. I've lost 38 pounds in 8 weeks. And that's all I've done. Cut out sugar and carbs. And of course, you can't stop this. I mean, there's probably half the calories in the alcohol free, but there's still plenty in there.
Now, here's a little tip for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Years ago, when I had my midlife crisis, I'm past that now, obviously. I started going to the gym. You wouldn't believe it. I was actually quite the gym bunny for a good few years.
Wow.
The fitness instructor at the gym was telling me that did you know there are something like 1,200 calories in a pint of beer?
Wow.
but there's only 1,500 in a bottle of vodka. Which seems like a good trade-off to me.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that, mate. As I was saying to you just before the stream, I was drinking like 2 bottles of Jack Daniels a week, and yeah, I was really, really struggling with that. So I think we should go for the vodka, mate. I'm with you on that. Music Therapy Lads, lovely to see you, mate, and I love you lurking. We love a lurker while you worker. And Lee asking the question, I mentioned the Sonic 8 Blues driver offset. What was the name of it again? I'll go one better for you than that, mate. Just bear with me.
Oh, talk amongst yourselves.
Oh no, I picked up the rock stage. It's called the Twiggy Blues. So I'll see if I can find you a link, brother, because this is definitely one you want to check out. Because this pedal is absolutely fantastic. Sonic 8 Twiggy Blues. Let me give you an Amazon link. Here we go. So let me share the screen rather than going back to that. I do apologize. Just 1 microsecond and we'll be there. There we go. That is the Twiggy Blues. Let me take your thing off. There we go. And this thing is absolutely fantastic. So Sonic 8 Twiggy Blues, at the minute in the UK, they're only charging 52 quid. So basically, you've got an air, a mix. It's like a reverb. You've got the slapback delay. You've got the blues tone engine, which is basically like a drive pedal, and you've got a compressor at the front end. And you can turn the cabinet simulator off and on. And this thing is absolutely fantastic. In fact, I know where it is because I couldn't find it just then because it's on my pedal board. So, John, you're going to try this next, I believe.
Yeah. I'm going to just basically, as soon as the next YouTube check lands in the bank, I'm going to order some more kit. And well, I've already ordered the Harley Benton SC 550 because I'm just intrigued by that guitar. I had one of their SC 450s a few years ago, and that was kind of when around about the time I started doing YouTube as a little bit more than a hobby. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in that Sonic 8 Twiggy because they had the rock stage back end of last year, and it's essentially, I mean, that's the one. It's essentially a Tom Scholz Rockman.
It really is. It's so similar, isn't it?
Yeah, the sounds that you can dial in on that, I found myself wanting to kind of burst into More Than a Feeling or Peace of Mind or something every time I was playing it. It's and it's like it's as cheap as chips. You try buying an original 80s Rockman these days, they are rarer than rocking horse poo. And if you buy one, it's going to cost you 400 or 500 quid. It's going to be knackered. And that thing makes the same sound, and it's like 60 quid. It's ridiculous.
Worth every penny, I would say. Just to have in your arsenal, so that if you're going out and recording anywhere, or you want to get that tone, that Rockman tone, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Did you know? You probably do, but perhaps people don't. I'm not a huge Def Leppard fan, but they did get massively big guitar tones.
Yeah.
That whole Hysteria album was recorded with Rockmans.
Yeah, and you know why? Mutt Langer was an absolute demon for them. He loved them, just plugging them straight into the desk, and particularly the clean tones. He loved the clean tones. So that was his influence there, I think. But yeah, do give it a try, Lee, and thank you for that. There we go. I saw Upside Down in the comments. It's been a while. Cheap as chips, he says, and it's lovely to see you, mate. Really, really good to see you. Yeah, so you were talking about Harley Benton's actually, and I've got a little bit to share today. I thought we might have a look at this and see what you think. But basically, Music Radar letting us know that Harley Benton. Are you a big acoustic fan, John?
I would like to be. It's every time I pick up an acoustic guitar, I try and be Tommy Emmanuel and just kind of fail miserably, or Gordon Giltrap, you know. But it's I love the sound of an acoustic guitar. I mean, one of my favorite albums that I listen to all the time it's just called Craig Ogden, Guitarist. If you don't know that album, check it out. He's an Australian classical guitar player, and it's just one guy in a guitar, and you just think, has this guy got like 19 fingers or something? And every time I listen to it, I think I really should have improved my acoustic chops. I have a Harley Benton acoustic, and I use it just for sort of texture stuff. You know, it's strumming in the background when I'm kind of recording a track. But yeah, I must get myself a decent acoustic guitar, because that will encourage me to kind of improve as an acoustic player,
mate,
I guess.
I tell you, the Harley Bentons, in fact, there we go. My go-to is this Harley, and this is a beautiful acoustic. It's I've forgotten the model name, and my glasses aren't on, and I'm getting too old to read it. It's a custom line though.
Yeah.
But check it out, because honestly, mate, these Harley Benton guitars are just fantastic, and value as well. So
you do realise that everybody's going to be putting in the comments now that we're a pair of shills for Harley Benton. That's the stuff I usually get.
I totally am. I'm totally a shill for Harley Benton. Fiercely proud of it as well.
I used to have a student who was a guitar retailer, and he was explaining to me, like, basically, you know, when you go into some kind of place that's selling like Levi's jeans and they're ridiculously cheap, it's because they're a factory outlet.
Yeah.
That's essentially what Harley Benton are. He was explaining to me that, like, you know, the number of importers and exporters and wholesalers and distributors and middlemen that are between the factory and you as a consumer, that's where all the prices come from. It's Harley Benton are just factory to retailer to you.
Absolutely, and they're great value. And what's more, I'm the sexiest shill out there. Apparently, there's my buddy. Thanks, Aaron. Bless you, mate. Bless you, bro.
It's also fair to say that sometimes Harley Benton, I'm a big Harley Benton fan, but it's also fair to say that sometimes they do outsource quality control to the consumer.
Yes, I would go along with that. I had Benet on the other week, and also there was issues with shipping as well. I'm going to quickly dodge back to Lee again, because he asked if you can get the Gary Moore tone out of it. Well, you can definitely get the Gary Moore tone out of the Twiggy Blues, so that's worth checking out.
Excellent.
Definitely.
Well, that's me sold then.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sounding thing. I don't know if I missed any questions. I'm just oh, there we go. That was one for you, John. Check out a guy on YouTube called Marco Cirillo for acoustic stuff. There you go.
I shall do that. I've got a pen and paper here. Let me just copy that down.
Okay, mate.
There we go. Okay, that's Sunday afternoon viewing.
Excellent. And apparently you're shills with flakes. I love the fact that every time you pour a beer, everybody says you need a flake with that.
Nobody outside the UK will get that. So do you want to just explain that one, Mike?
Yeah, definitely. Basically, when we pour a beer, if you've got a big head on it, it looks like an ice cream. I nearly swore them for the first time on my channel. I don't know what's
Oh,
going
bad
on.
influence.
You must be. You must be. Bam Mozzie's here. Hey, brother. So good to see you. Really, really good to see you. And the Mars Man as well. Great to see you. Yeah, these Bentons are absolutely incredible value. And they've just brought out this range, the CL15 series, which look absolutely beautiful. But the prices, they say you won't believe the prices because obviously it's got a Fishman Priestess 2 preamp in it on the electroacoustic models. But I was actually quite shocked at the prices because usually they're around in the 200s, but these are just a tip over the £300 mark, and the Auditorium non-electro is down at 261. But I think that's still really good value, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, because like the king of the budget guitar brand before Harley Benton came along was Vintage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that was sort of the sort of ballpark figure for their for their guitars. I mean, when I bought, again going back to electric guitars, when I bought a vintage, I think it was V100, which was like that. It's their Les Paul copy,
Right.
and this is when an Epiphone was a kind of an Epiphone in a flat kind of color, without a kind of nice maple top on it, was about 400. You could buy a vintage V100, which was a sexy looking thing. The AFD one, the Slash copy, is a beautiful guitar. And they were about like 75 quid less for a higher spec guitar. And they were the king of the budget guitars, and then suddenly Harley Benton come along and half that price again, almost. So
I mean, they do it, as you exactly rightly said, they do it by cutting out all the middlemen, and so basically they come straight from China. They get checked out because obviously I was there at TGU and saw the back of the scenes type area, and they do check them all out. They check the setups and stuff, and they reject any that are really not right, and they won't send anything out. But they come in and they go straight back out. There's no distribution. They're all shipped straight from Thomann to your door. So
yeah. Well, you say China though, but aren't a lot of Harley Bentons built in like Indonesia and Vietnam these days?
Indonesia, yeah, Vietnam, and also, oh man, yeah, there's three other places as well as China that they're building them. And in fact, the higher you go up in the range, I've certainly with the SC 550s, I'm pretty sure they're built in either Indonesia or Vietnam. But I've had some from everywhere. So basically, my CST24, the green one, was from China. And then the custom one, which is the one with the F hole in it, that came from Vietnam. And I have to say, the Vietnamese make really good. India, that's the other place where they're making guitars. Yeah.
No, you see, I had an Indian guitar once. Do you remember when Fender used to make the Sun range? It was like sort of the one below Squire. It was like the sort of I think it was the Sun something or other, SUNN, I think it was.
Yeah.
And you could buy a Sun Telecaster or a Sun. This is early 90s kind of time. And I had one of those, and it was a classic case of there was a nice guitar in there just waiting to be let out.
Yeah.
The pickups were junk, so I think I ended up throwing some ENGs into it at the time.
Nice.
And fret level, crown polish, sharp fret ends got rid of, and all that sort of stuff. All the stuff you usually need to do with a cheap guitar. And it was a great guitar, and they were made in India.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of really good stuff coming out of India, and also it seems to be really cheap as well. So for the value for money, you've got the standard, and they're kind of going down that sort of Chinese route at the moment. And I think that there's always another emerging market for guitar builders, and it's like, you know, one minute it's Korea and everybody must have a guitar from Korea. I mean, if I don't know if you remember back in the day, but when I was sort of a whippersnapper, everybody turned their nose up at Japanese built guitars.
Oh
But now
yeah,
you try
yeah.
and get a Japanese Squire Strat, and it's like they're gold dust.
Do you remember back? This is going way back. Do you remember ads on TV adverts? I think they used to usually appear on Channel 4 in the UK for Squire Strats.
Vaguely, very vaguely.
I tell there was a show I used to watch religiously when Channel 4 first started. I think in '82. God, I'm ancient, aren't I?
Was it
In the
OGT?
No, I used to watch that as
Do you
well.
remember
Yeah.
that on a Friday? Or Saturday, wasn't it? It was Saturday.
Yeah, watching it in your bedroom with your headphones on.
Yeah, in case the parents caught you.
Yeah. Exactly. But no, there used to be a show on Channel 4 called Gas Tank, and it was hosted by Rick Wakeman.
Oh, wow.
And it was just Rick Wakeman kind of going through his kind of address book and phoning up his mates and getting them to come on. And it was a talk show, and they'd get up and jam and stuff like that. It was a fantastic show.
Oh,
and in the ad breaks for that, you used to see these adverts, these TV adverts for this new brand of guitars called Squire that were really Fenders, but they weren't Fenders really. You know, it was one of those kind of adverts, you know. And, you know, the lads I was at school with, because I was still at school at the time, you know, a couple of them had these Squire guitars, and they were like, they were kind of, they were sort of like, they were Fenders, but they weren't Fenders, but this is as close as you're ever going to get to a Fender, you know.
right.
They're beautiful guitars.
Yeah,
But they were, I seem to remember they were £212.
Right. Wow.
In 1982, when like an actual Fender was like kind of double that a USA Fender was that sort of price. And yeah, those guitars now are just ridiculous on the used market.
On the used market, absolutely. And I turned one down for a Aria Pro 2 RS Wildcat.
Aria Pro 2, yeah, that was. I tell you what sold me on Aria Pro 2 guitar. Do you remember that that book, The Guitar Handbook by Ralph Denyer? You ever had that?
I've seen it, yeah, definitely.
There's a foreword in that book by Andy Summers.
Right.
And he's sat there. There's a picture of him sat there with an Aria Pro 2 guitar. Okay,
yeah.
Well, he's playing one. That makes it respectable to play a Japanese guitar, you know?
For sure.
But yeah, Aria Pro 2. There's another brand that, you know, where have they gone?
Well, I haven't seen them for a while. They used to make a really, really nice 335 style guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen them for years, which is crazy. But they were very, very good value. And of course, a lot of people, well, I would say that it was more bass players, because the Aria basses were the thing to have. Didn't Mark King have one at one stage? And then he got onto that bespoke thing of his own, you know, that I've forgotten what it was. It was the very first, yeah, that's the one, Alembic. And he was on the very first cover of that free magazine, Making Music. Do you remember that?
I remember it well, yes.
Do you know what? When I moved from my folks' house, I had about 30 of the first copy. And I had tons going forward of those. I'd saved up thinking one day these will be worth something.
I tell you, I used to love in making music. I used to love the glossary of terms they used to put in there,
Yeah.
which was like, you know, what musicians say, what they really mean. And there was one there, it's just like, yeah, when a guitarist says, I'm a Marshall man, it's like, what he means, I'm a noisy bastard.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, mate. By the way, just a quick one. Glad that your shows went down well, Aaron. I'm miles behind on the chat, so do excuse me for that. I don't know if I've missed any questions. There's a question. I think it's probably is the Rockman amp you're talking about the portable headphone practice amp for headphones? Used to be, yes, it was, but you can't really get them anymore. My goodness, I must have been going back a long, long way on the comments. So I do apologize if I've missed any comments. I'm going to try and fly through and see if there's any questions for you, mate. Takamine guitars. There we go. Japanese and were popular acoustics. They were. I've got one. I love it. Absolutely love it. And there we go. Aria apparently made in the same factory as Westone. Do you remember the old Western Thunder 1As?
I do indeed. I do indeed. Yes. They used to make Trevor Rabin's signature guitar, didn't they, Westone?
Yes, they did. There we go. Cliff Burton had an Aria bass as well. You're right. He did indeed. He also had that. What was the? I think he played a Precision as well, but he also had that. What's the pointy shaped bass that he had? Oh man, my brain is here, there, and everywhere at the moment.
Can't help you with that one.
No, it's all cool. What's the topic of the day? Apparently, what's the topic of discussion today? Well, it's Mr. John Robson, this amazing man sat right here. So he's the topic of the day. He's my wonderful Friday guest with that Friday feeling. Cliff also played the Rickenbacker. Okay, yep, good man. He did indeed, and that is actually what I was thinking about. It wasn't pointy. It was just the headstock. I never got used to the headstocks on the Rickenbacker basses. I think they're quite nice, but if you ever seen McCartney with one, now live, he always played his Hofner, but in the studio, and I've seen loads of pictures of him with a Rickenbacker bass, and it just looks so out of place. So out of place on him.
Yeah. I mean, my abiding... when I think of a Rickenbacker bass, I think of Lemmy.
Of course, absolutely.
Have you ever seen the headstock of Lemmy's Rick bass up close? No. It's you know that kind of swooping logo where it kind of on the truss rod cover where it says Rickenbacker.
Yeah.
You look at Lemmy's bass and it says Rotten Bastard.
Oh, love it. I'm going to see if I can find it for you. Let's have a look, because that's what this is all about. It's a bit of fun. Oh, my goodness. There are some really, really nice pictures. Let's have a look. See if we can get close in on this one. Bear with me. Okay. This should be Lemmy's bass. Oh, no, that's a YouTube watch. What's going on with that? Okay. There's his Rick. I'm just trying to find one of the headstock. But that is so funny. Sounds about right for him, though, doesn't it?
It does.
There we go. Born to Lose. Out to lunch. Love it. Love it. I don't know if I can get close enough to the headstock to show that. But hey ho, never mind. I've got something for you, though.
Go on, then.
Did you see the news this week? Monty's Guitars have restored the fire damaged Martin for Ed Sheeran, given to him by Eric Clapton. And I think look at the state of this thing. I mean, seriously, this got really, really badly burned. And look what they've done to it.
That's amazing.
Absolutely incredible, isn't it? So they basically said that they were thinking about converting it and putting it onto another Eric Clapton model because he'd signed the back for Ed. And the back was the only thing that hadn't got charred. But when they look closer, it says somewhere in the article here that once we had looked it over, it became apparent that structurally the guitar was pretty much sound and the damage was largely cosmetic. Luckily, the back with Clapton's signatures was the only thing not resembling a charcoal briquette. So we decided the best thing to do was strip it, spray it, and rebuild it. But I'm just absolutely astounded at what they've done there. I mean, you can see it's been burnt on the final product. But wow, to go from that to that, I just thought that was amazing, don't you?
That's I mean, that's incredible. There's a TV show I watch, and this is how sad I am, called Salvage Hunters, where you watch it as well, do you?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And you know, there's this Welsh antique dealer, and he'll get something that looks like a lump of scrap iron.
Yeah.
You know, and it once used to be a Parisian street light or something like that, and he'll, you know, and he'll give it to his restorers, and you know, in the end, it looks like something that looks 200 years old, but is still in working condition. And that for me is what I love. I love it when something still shows its age, but it's been repaired and it's been restored to its you know, its authentic, you know, kind of its usage. And you know, I have the opposite problem with relic guitars. I don't like something that's brand new that looks you know, like it's been buried in a peat bog for 40 years, as I always say. But when something has that age, to kind of restore it to its authentic, you know, kind of use and condition, but still to show its age, I think that's an absolute mastercraft,
Totally.
you know.
Totally, and I love when things get upcycled as well for a new use, you know, and they build something really new out of it. I thought this was funny. Jason Carter said, "New line, barbecue relic." It's great. I love it, mate. That's hilarious. Yeah, definitely authentic battle scars. But that guitar now, given the fact that it was given to him by Clapton and the fact that it survived a fire and they've done so well. So this is Monty's Guitars in the UK have done this work, which is just absolutely incredible. Really incredible work they've done on that. And I've got one more little story for you. Just one more little story for you, because I thought this would give you a giggle. Okay.
Crack on.
And this is in the Daily Mail Online, which I never read, by the way. Infuriating wannabe rock star who plays electric guitar in his driveway half naked every weekend is arrested in his underwear after a noise complaint. Now, judging by the fact that we were talking about you having your boxing shorts on earlier, I thought this can't be. It can't be, but it's not. It's in Australia. But look at this guy. I mean, seriously, this is hilarious. This guy is literally. Sorry, let me bring it up for you. He's literally playing in his drive with only his pants and his socks and shoes on. And there's the police coming to cart him away. I don't know if this will actually play. It doesn't look like it will, which is a shame. But it's just really funny. Probably won't play on the live stream because it's probably protected content. But there you go. So, yeah.
The phrase "only in Australia" springs to mind.
Only in Australia. It's the only place it can happen, hasn't it? Isn't it? It's just absolutely amazing. You've got some lovely people here saying some lovely comments. John's mentioned before that he thinks himself as a teacher now more than a player. When did that realization initially sink in? And are you more proud of that anyway, John? Because you are a brilliant teacher. There's been so many people that have said what a great tutor you are on the stream tonight. So is that something that you're happy to have moved over towards more into teaching?
Well, I mean, if you go back to 1991, when I had a day job, I was a quality assurance engineer for an electronics company, and kind of typical weekend warrior,
Right.
playing, the clubs and pubs and stuff on a weekend. Just the idea back then that I could make a living out of playing the guitar was just a pipe dream. And then I got made redundant and put an advert in the local paper for
Oh, gee.
guitar lessons. Didn't have any first idea of how to be a teacher, and I cringe when I think back to some of my early lessons. But it's you get good at it when your rent depends on it.
That's a very good point.
You learn by your mistakes pretty quickly. And I was still doing the whole, kind of up here. It's the working men's club sort of scene, the way where you can
Right.
make reasonable money or livable money as a guitar player.
Right.
But I quickly realised back then that it was like my income as a musician was dependent upon 4 or 5 other guys who were also in the band, and if they were only doing it as a hobby, then I'm the only guy in the band who's making a living at this, and priorities kind of conflict, let's say. So the teaching thing kind of took over, and just the idea that I could, as I say, make a living out of playing the guitar. I never really consciously made the decision to become a teacher rather than a jobbing musician, but it just kind of, that was the way the economics drove it. And that's what it is. I just wake up every morning and think, what am I going to do today? I'm going to play the guitar, talk about guitar, talk to other guitarists, and talk about guitar to other. It's the best job in the world, mate. It really is.
You can't find a better one, can we? I totally agree. Totally agree. But I guess that that there is a satisfaction in seeing other people improve, and and I know there's always going to be lazy buggers who pretend they've practiced and haven't. But when you see somebody that you've taken from beginner, right up to the stage of this guy, Well, by the way, somebody said, did he play in REO Speedwagon?
I mean, there's one student I've got at the moment who is, let's say, she's a lady of a certain age, and all she wants to do is pick up a guitar and strum Saturday Night at the Movies by the Drifters, or what, some Sandy Shaw thing, Those Were the Days or whatever. And if I can get her playing, just strumming chords to those kind of songs, and she can play it for her husband and a brother-in-law and a son-in-law and whatever, she's happy. And that's just such a brilliant thing. It's like, I'm going to swear here, hope you don't mind.
How you carry on?
But there was a lad I taught years ago, and he'd kept the fact that he was learning to play the guitar a bit of a secret from his friends. Huh? And then, because he didn't want them kind of, oh, come on then, give us a tune, And anyway, one night after the pub, they all ended up back at his place, and they saw the guitar. Oh, you play guitar? You play guitar? Oh, then give us a tune. Come on. And he strummed his way through Wonderwall. So that kind of dates it around about the time that this was.
Yeah, 90s, yeah.
And he played the song, and finished the song, and they just kind of looked at him, and he said, "Yeah, you can't take the piss, can you?" And that was it. He'd achieved something that was important to him. He'd impressed his mates.
Yeah.
He got a new kind of, if you want to be artsy-fartsy about it, he'd got a new artistic outlet. But more importantly, he got himself a new hobby that he was enjoying, and he you know, his mates had heard him play, and that was like really important to him. And I just thought, yeah, that's good to have been involved in that, you know.
Definitely. It warms the cockles of your heart to have
Mhm.
helped people out like that. A quick salute to BV Ninja. Great to see you in as well, brother. Yeah, I think the whole thing with teaching, I've never been brave enough. Oh no, he's in. Sorry. Quentin. Hey mate. Good to see you, brother. I always have to have a drink when I see Quentin. But there he is. And apparently, sorry for being late. It's all right. You're never late. You're only ever here when we're alive. When we're live, and you made it, mate. So, yeah, I just think it's really, really nice. I've never been brave enough to teach. I was thinking of starting a little series, going right back to scratch, because both my daughters want to learn to play guitar. And I thought, yeah, I could probably just about do that. I'm not up to teaching at your standard, but I could certainly teach them how to hold it, the basics, and to get started, and some chords. I've already taught them both some chords, and there's nothing nicer. I know it's probably even more joyful for me because it's my kids learning to play, and that's great. But yeah, I think it must be incredibly gratifying. That's all I can say. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, I did a video ages ago about the five, and I called it "Thankfully Rare Students" that you get. And you know, if you go into teaching, you're going to have these people. You know, the people who are just the nightmare students, and you're gonna if you're going to teach, you're going to get the middle-aged chap he's done all right for himself. He's got he's got a bit of spare cash in his back pocket. So, you know, he turns up for the lesson with a Gibson Les Paul custom and a Marshall stack to learn the A chord, you know. And you got to deal with those people, you know.
Yeah, they must be very frustrating. I get that. I do get that. But I guess having one of those in a pool of 20 that are keen, and that you've got to a stage, must be really amazing. Must be really, really good.
Well,
Love
as
it.
I often say, mate, it beats working for a living, you know.
Yeah. Well, who wants to work for a living?
By the
Oh,
way, if I have to shoot off soon, it's because me kebabs arrived, by the way.
we both have to shoot off soon, mate, because I only run between 30 minutes and an hour, and believe it or not, we're coming up. We're 18 minutes past, so we've got to be gone by 1:30 at the latest. But we can go anytime. We as is life. I have to read this lovely comment here from Colin. He says, without making John blush, I started watching his channel back in 2018, and it inspired me to take up the guitar again after a 4-decade break. I'm an average player. However, noodling makes me smile. If you can put a smile on people's faces, what more could you want in life? And what a lovely thing to do.
Well, you know, it's what I do, you know. It's without wishing to be blasé about it, I just sit here in the spare bedroom, and you know, I blether away into a webcam or a cheap little 50 quid camcorder that I bought on Amazon, and I put content out, and people seem to like it, and
Yeah.
it pays the bills. You know, it's not for me to
Well,
pontificate on how good I am at it or not, but you know,
you don't need to, because everybody else is doing that for you. Just bask in the glory, my friend. That's all you need to do.
I'm a northern male. I'm not very good at accepting praise like that. So shut up.
Amanda says, my dad taught me vocals but never guitar. Well, if he taught you vocals, Amanda, I've heard you sing many times, and he's a good teacher because she's a lovely singer. Quentin, of course, that doesn't surprise me at all. He once had an 8-year-old kid come in, sit down, and just start crying. He probably just took one look at your brother. Jason says, we're a good bunch on John's channel. I found CGS through John. One happy family. There we go. Love it. And also, I've gained a subscriber. Thanks so much to Johnny Random 100. Lovely to see you in, and thank you for subbing. Goodness knows I need them at the moment because YouTube are really giving me a good caning at the minute.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah, I think they're doing it to all guitar channels, man. I really do. Graham Campbell's loving your channel. Excellent teacher, always something new. A question, is this for me? Just wondering if you have a favorite amp. Bit tricky to see them in the background. Well, my favorite is my Marshall JCM 800. That is incredible. But what I play through all the time at the minute is the Boss Katana. And that I can turn it on, fiddle about with the controls, and it just does the job. So really enjoying that. And on top of that, I don't know if you can quite see that there, but there is also an Engel Fireball 25, which I also absolutely adore. But I have to say, I've been really switched on. And in fact, John reminded me about Blue Cat Audio, but I've been using the IK Media Amplitude 5 recently in loads and loads of videos, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I haven't actually used the Axle effects since I loaded up the Amplitude 5, and you can get it for free, guys. So go out there, grab it for free and enjoy it, because the CS version is completely free. So there we go. John, apparently you feel like crying in some of Ian's lessons. I love it.
That wasn't my intent.
Craig's also discovered me through you, for me saying hello on your channel, so that's lovely. Thank you for that, Craig, and you're most welcome, Johnny. That's awesome. Let me see. I think we are nearing the end of what has been, my friend, an absolutely awesome catch up with you. I've really enjoyed having the opportunity to chat with you. Been a big fan since I've started watching your channel, and I'm rarely gonna miss a Friday 5 o'clock booze session, even if my booze happens to be alcohol free, because it's just a lovely place to hang out. And I have to say, what I find with this channel is that it's full of really nice people, really good times, and really fun people to hang out with. And I felt exactly the same when I come over and watched your 5 o'clock beer o'clock show. So,
well, yeah, just on a closing note, I mean, you know, the internet does have a bit of a bad rap for, you know, kind of people being nasty and people being mean to each other. But, and I've got one or two of those who occasionally pop up on my channel, but for the most part, I've got to say, the people who, excuse me, that's me kebab arrived. Hang on a sec.
There we go. So that was John Robson. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to him. Marsman saying, great seeing you both stream together. Thanks, brother. That's so cool. Bam Mozzie has put the link in again for me. Bless him. Amanda, thank you so much. I know he's coming back. Don't worry. It's just his kebab being delivered. It's been great. And Lee saying good night to all. And please do that. Yeah, we all block the idiots that are unkind. There you go. How about that? Perfect timing for the kebab.
I was just going to say, you know, you get the odd idiot, but for the most part, most people are absolutely delightful.
Absolutely. And on that closing note, thank you so much, John, for being on tonight. And I will see you at beer o'clock next week.
You will indeed. Thanks, Mike. See you next time.
Enjoy your kebab. Cheers, bro.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. So that's what I have for you tonight. I really hope you've enjoyed the stream. Again, love hanging out with you guys. Love all this. And what a great, great guy. Love John Robson, a really, really lovely guy. Great teacher. If you haven't, check him out. There's the link right down there. And also it's in the side chat, because you will definitely learn something from that man. But for now, oh, thank you so much, Colin. Really appreciate that. And thank you, Lamb. Do check out John. Thank you so much. I'll be back on Sunday. And in the meantime, as always, my friends, you take good care.